Okay, maybe this is my third and final rant, but I was thinking about the fact that religion has told us who our enemy is. You notice when Cain kills Abel, he didn't say that Satan's going to become his master. He said sin would become his master. Um, our real enemy, the church has told us it's the government. The church has told us that, if you're Pentecostal, it's the Baptist. If you're Baptist, it was the Pentecostals. And if it was this, and the thing is the real enemy the whole time has been religion. That was the one thing that Jesus came against the whole time. He kept telling me, show me the inside of the cup. If it's clean, and the outside will be clean. You're adding things to the law that were never there. They're just your rituals and just your traditions. And you keep adding things and you keep doing this. And the one thing he came against was the religious system that kept people from being able to experience the full sacrifice of what God was doing, the fullness and the understanding. He was ripping people off. They were doing everything, and they were probably telling them the whole time that the Roman government was the enemy, while they were, having their cahoots with them right behind their back. And the religion has always told us it was something else's fault. It was always pointing over here at this one, pointing at there. Religion's the one that killed the prophets. Religion's the one that screamed he is casting out devils by Beelzebub. Religion is the one that compelled Cain to kill Abel. Religion has always been bad. But religion has also been deceitful, because it has convinced us that our enemy is everything but it. It's got us looking over here and over there and fighting with this one and fighting with that one. And the truth is, the whole time we are sitting there under our very enemy, the one that seeks to sneak in unaware and take silly women captive. When you tell them you want to put them under a law and put them under a bondage that you couldn't stand. You want them to do things that you couldn't bear. But now we do the same thing. How many men and women stand up and behind that pulpit and preach a message and micromanage the law down to a point to where they make sure that everybody in church feels guilt and condemnation for something that they did that was a moment of an emotional nature. Not even acted upon, just a moment of emotional nature. And they have preached it to the point to where we are carrying guilt and condemnation. We're always sin conscious. And we who have been set free of sin, why don't we have any consciousness of sin? He said, when you were free of righteousness, you were free of righteous works. You just by nature, you were free from your righteousness. But now that you're righteous by nature, you do the things that are righteous and that fulfill the law. Because it's the love of God that draws men to repentance. It's not the laws. It's not any of that. It's not even the preaching of God that draws men to repentance. It's his love. And we don't preach his love. We preach condemnation. We preach his judgment. We preach everything but his love. And that's what's going to draw men to repentance, because it's not until you realize that he exchanged his son for you, that you become the righteousness of Christ. You don't become another person who's in captivity, constantly trying to serve the law and being under sin. Oh, wretched man that I am. Every time I want to do good, the evil's present with me, because I'm fighting with the law. I'm fighting by my flesh instead of allowing God to get in my heart. And when he let him in my heart, then I realize who I am. And then by nature, I do the things which are in it. Yeah, am I perfect? Probably not by your standards. But your standard isn't the same one as mine. It's not the same one as the church next door. I bet you I can get 5 people in the driveway or here at my house, and we won't come up with the same standard. It's because we built our own standards. We have shaped it in iniquity. We have done the same thing to the law that they did. And they're pretty easy. The reason he was talking about the adultery thing is that if you looked at a woman with lust in your heart, lust isn't, oh, that's good looking. Lust is a thing that drives a man to get what he wants, regardless of the consequences. That's what lust is. It's not looking at somebody and recognizing they're pretty. Or even thinking, that's not lust. This is the lust. Our own lust. This is the things that drive us, that push us. This is the things that make us want to really have it. It's not just looking, and it's not an emotion like that. It's not a momentary emotion or a glimmer. It's something that drives. It's a driving force. And if you look at a woman and you've already figured out how you're going to do that, your heart and your nature is to defile that person. You look at them and you want to defile them. Then there's something wrong with you. But I don't think it was to the point that if you looked at somebody and recognized they were pretty. Heck, I mean, by standards, I'm going to hell because of the color of my hair and how short it is, and I got tattoos, so might as well give it up anyway. Let's go back to God's standard. And so I can recognize what it is. Because religion has done a really, really good job of building another temple and keeping us away from our God.